Are you confused why the Thai military uses a 1/50,000 scale map while Cambodians use a 1/200,000 scale map? A 1/50,000 map means 1 centimeter on the map equals 500 meters in real life, the width of eyes field of view on the map, but it actually represents a real area of 500 meters. Whereas a 1/200,000 scale map represents a real area of 2 kilometers, 4 times the difference. So, if the map shifts by just 1 centimeter, it would encroach 2 kilometers into Thailand's territory. And
okay, I've listened to your entire video and I need to point some things out. I'm not going to include all the extra stuff because Christ, I almost fell asleep. However, your points at the start are correct. That the maths works out. I checked it. What you failed to mention in your entire video is that whilst, yes, for orders of important marking and demarcation, a 1 to 50,000 map would be more appropriate. I agree with that. That's just common sense. The issue lies in the fact that the 1/200,000 map, the Annex 1 map, used in the 1962 ICJ case, is supposed to be used in order to plot the 1/50,000 map. And this is where the key issue lies. Thailand have drawn their own 1/50,000 map without using the 1/200,000 map as the source. So whilst you can bring these issues up as much as you want and go into detail as to whose land lies, what land would be granted to Cambodia if the 1/200,000 was used, and all of that, don't skim over the actual facts. It's naive. Just an interjection in the usual run of this video. For those Thai trolls and those people dealing with the Thai trolls that are putting pictures up of a demarcation stone saying that the recent laying of tyres and barbed wire was on Thailand territory. Here's a demarcation stone with the word Siam on it. This video blows that out of the water, and it's a mighty middle finger in the air to that argument, because demarcation isn't the way you dispute land issues. Delimitation is, and I explain that later on in the video. There we go. You're welcome. You're welcome. Video will now continue. The 1/50,000 map, the RTSD series, it's a Thai production. It's not jointly accepted with Cambodia. And by contrast, the 1/200,000 map was drawn by French surveyors and it's been tacitly accepted for decades without Thai protest, which the ICJ saw as accepting it. And international boundary law requires mutual consent. Thailand can't just substitute unilateral modern maps for a jointly recognised instrument that is the 1/200,000 map. You can't just say, oh, here's a new one that we've decided, nobody else recognises, nobody else is overlooked, we're just saying this is the new map. You can't just do that, no matter how much you want to. It doesn't work that way. The 1904-1907 Franco-Siamese treaties framed the border in terms of the Dong Krek watershed. The Annex 1 map, though imperfect, was considered an authoritative interpretation of those treaties. Thailand's 1/50,000 map redraws the watershed with modern accuracy, fair dues, but that changes the outcome, which sometimes puts land on Thailand's side. Courts see that as a reinterpretation, not demarcation. You can't reopen treaties by substituting new maps. You just can't. Thailand's mistake is trying to elevate demarcation tools, the 1 to 50,000 map, into delimitation authority, which international law doesn't allow. Just doesn't. It's the wrong tool for the wrong task. Delimitation, the legal boundary line, is fixed by treaties, judgments and historic maps, and in this case that's Annex 1. Demarcation, putting pillars in the ground, that obviously lots of Thai people have been posting in the comments of recent years, uses large-scale modern maps, 1 to 50,000 in this case, for precision. But as I say, you can't elevate demarcation tools into delimitation authority. It's the wrong tool for the wrong task. Thailand's 1 to 50,000 maps falter because they're unilateral, technically correct, but legally irrelevant when stacked against the historically accepted Annex 1, the 1 to 200,000 map, and the ICJ judgments, because every other country accepts them. You can't just redraw shit that you want to be true. It doesn't work like that. So, to summarise this for those in the back with hearing problems or a deficiency of the brain, because all categories have a lot in Thailand. Common Thai argument number 1. The Annex 1 map is wrong because it doesn't follow watershed, so it's invalid. Yes, the 1904-1907 treaty said the watershed line, but the French-drawn Annex 1 map was presented to Thailand at the time, and Thailand didn't protest for decades. Under international law, acquiescence matters. If you accept and use a map without objection, it becomes binding. The ICJ in 1962 ruled exactly that. You can't reopen treaties 50 plus years later because a more accurate watershed line exists. The law values stability over technical perfection. Common Thai argument number 2. Thai modern 1 to 50,000 maps, the RTSD, are more accurate and should replace the old French map. Accuracy isn't the deciding factor here. The ICJ bases sovereignty on legal instruments, not unilateral modern redraws. The 1 to 50,000 maps are produced solely by Thailand. Cambodia never consented. By contrast, Annex 1 was accepted reference at the time of delimitation and both sides agreed. International law is clear. You can't use unilateral surveys to draw a settled international boundary. Thailand didn't respond for 54 years, as you say in your video. It was accepted. Okay, there may have been points in the contract, on the treaty, on whatever, that said Thailand can change their mind to blah, blah, blah. You didn't for 54 years. Common Thai argument number 3. The 1962 ICJ judgment only gave the temple to Cambodia, not the surrounding land. This is just wrong. The 1962 ruling gave sovereignty over the temple site. And in 2013, the ICJ clarified that the vicinity of the temple, the promontory, is also Cambodian territory. That clarification closed the loophole Thailand tried to exploit by arguing the land was just below the temple, was still theirs. The ICJ literally said Cambodia has sovereignty over the whole promontory, not just the stones of the temple. Common Thai argument number 4. Cambodia is expanding its claim using an outdated map. Cambodia isn't expanding anything, it's defending the status quo based on the only international recognised map, the Annex 1, and 2 ICJ rulings. It's Thailand trying to shrink Cambodia's claim by substituting unilateral 1 to 50,000 maps. Courts value consistency and finality. Cambodia is aligned with both, Thailand is aligned with neither. So to summarise, with the bottom line, Thailand's arguments collapse because they confuse technical accuracy with legal authority. They ignore acquiescence and ICJ rulings. They push unilateral modern maps and have no international legitimacy. And they try to reopen a case that's already been settled on 2 different occasions by the world's highest court. Accept it or not, it's what the world does. So pull your big boy pants on and get back to being peaceful. Hope that video helps my Khmer brothers and sisters. Kiam Sanang Cambodia na Rahot.